We've had 6 exciting rounds of the Grand Prix so far, and now there's only one left to go. In this video we'll talk about who's qualified for the Grand Prix Final and what it took to get there. Let's talk about the women's discipline first. Starting out with who's just narrowly missed out on the final. Mana Kawabe, Hain Lee and Young Yu put in some good skates, but it was Rion Sumiyoshi who barely missed out on qualifying. Rion shone during her senior Grand Prix debut. Her performances have been a standout on the Grand Prix so far, with her being the only senior woman to attempt a quad. Although both quad attempts didn't work out and she had some very hard falls, she never let that stop her from giving great performances. She took home bronze in each event that she participated in, earning a total score of 22 points. Tying with the skater who's qualified in 6th place, which is Rinka Watanabe's Grand Prix debut has been quite the journey, so let's start from the beginning. Rinka was never originally set to participate on the Grand Prix this season. Many fans were confused as to why she didn't have a spot on the Grand Prix after coming off a successful season. But following an inspiring win at Lombardia Trophy, where she beat world champion Kaori Sakamoto, she managed to make her way onto the alternates list. Soon after, it was announced that her teammate Wakaba Higuchi would unfortunately miss the season due to injury, and that Rinka would fill her spots. No one knew how Rinka would perform given the short notice, but at Skate Canada she wowed everyone by being the first woman on the Grand Prix this season to cleanly land a triple axel and an ultra C element. Even in spite of some questionable judging at Skate Canada and against the odds, Rinka Watanabe managed to take home gold at her first ever Grand Prix event. It was a very special moment to see. She also got to skate at her home event, NHK Trophy, which is a fan favorite stage and one of the most competitive stages of the Grand Prix. She skated well, but not to the same heights as Skate Canada. You could tell that she was a little nervous. But in the end, she earned just enough points and combined with her gold medal, which served as the tiebreaker, is what allowed her to qualify for the Grand Prix Final. Rinka is one to watch for. She's such a well-rounded skater, she has incredible determination and willpower, and she'll be the only senior woman going into the event with an Ultra C element. Junior World Champion Isabeau Levito made her Grand Prix debut at her home event Skate America. Isabeau said in an interview that she just wanted to have a good debut, that she would look back on and be happy with. Well, you could say she did that and more. She shined at this event. Her spins and her challenging triple lutz, triple loop were a real standout. She finished 2nd overall, earning herself a silver medal only to place behind her idol and world champion Kaori Sakamoto. She had some more really good skates at the MK John Wilson Trophy where she took home another silver medal and earned new personal bests for her free skate and overall total score. Isabeau has had an amazing debut with many great performances to look back on and be proud of. It will be really interesting to see how she skates in the final. Yelim Kim skated solidly at her first stage of the Grand Prix at Grand Prix de France where she finished 2nd, taking home her first ever Grand Prix medal. But it was at the NHK Trophy where Yelim really shined. Her combinations were huge. Her skating skills were gorgeous, and what gave her the edge over everyone was that she was the most consistent across the event. Yelim Kim took home her first ever Grand Prix gold, beating out world champion Kaori Sakamoto and becoming the first Korean skater to win the NHK Trophy. She is also the first Korean skater since Yuna Kim that has qualified for the Grand Prix Final. This is such an achievement for Yelim, and hopefully she will carry this great momentum into the final. Going into this season, Kaori Sakamoto has made a lot of changes with her choreography team and the style of her programs, and now with the added pressure on her shoulders since becoming the world champion, it was interesting to see how she would do. Kaori didn't let any of that faze her at Skate America. She skated like a world champion. Even with small mistakes, she was still a step ahead of the rest. Kaori opened the Grand Prix by taking home gold and earning a new season's best for her free skate and overall total score. At NHK Trophy, Kaori skated well, but not with the same consistency and precision that she is known for. Going into the event she didn't feel at full fitness, and ultimately it was this inconsistency that cost her a second gold medal. Even with this, she's been really solid during these qualifying stages, and hopefully she will be at peak performance for the final. Loena Hendrickx's great momentum has carried into the Grand Prix series. She skated with amazing qualities at Grand Prix de France, showcasing some huge combinations and great spins. The competition seemed like a breeze to her, and ultimately Loena ended up winning her first ever Grand Prix gold medal, with her earning a new season's best in the free skate and overall total score. We got to see Loena's great qualities again at Grand Prix Espoo, and she was once again so close to taking home gold. But sadly we didn't get to see her skate to her fullest potential, with her coming off a packed schedule. She had to compete at Belgian Nationals, and what I think also contributed to the slight dip in performance was her changing her free skate music. She still gave her all though. Hopefully with this short break, Loena will be able to rest and prepare to skate at her best at the final. But it's Mai Mihara who's topped the qualification standings, with her being the only women's skater to take home gold at both stages. She started off the Grand Prix in one of the best ways you could imagine. Mai skated with great quality and with consistency on almost each and every element. Her performances were a joy to watch. As a result, this is what earned Mai her first ever Grand Prix gold and new season's bests across the board. This perfectionism continued on into the short program at Grand Prix Espoo, where she earned a new personal best for a wonderful performance. Sadly her free wasn't as consistent, but it didn't matter in the end. She still had the edge over everyone, and she managed to win her second Grand Prix gold. Mai Mihara's performances are something special to watch, and hopefully she can skate with that same quality and consistency that she's become known for in the finals. The women's event, like the other disciplines, is so wide open, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. Moving on to the men's discipline. Matteo Rizzo, Kazuki Tomono and Junwon Cha were all very close to qualifying, but it was Adam Xiao Him-fa who's narrowly missed out on qualifying for the final. Adam Xiao Him-fa has been on the rise for several seasons now, but things seem to be coming together for him this season. It was wonderful to see him win his home Grand Prix, and it's just a pity that it didn't go as smoothly at NHK. But anything could have happened at NHK, with it being arguably the toughest round for competition. Really, any of these skaters could have qualified. They all put up a good fight, and it'll be sad not to see any of them at the final, because a lot of these skaters have some of the most entertaining programs on the circuit this season. Shun Sato has had a great comeback this season. From missing out on the Olympics and having shoulder surgery while the men's event in Beijing was taking place must have been extremely hard for him. But he's managed to put all that aside and focus on skating at his best. He took home bronze at the MK John Wilson Trophy and managed to take home silver at Grand Prix Espoo against some difficult competition, and that was just enough to qualify him for the final. It's been a bit of a roller coaster for Daniel Grassl this season. He made many changes to his coaching setup, and alongside that, deciding to go in a different direction with his program/choreography. He finished 4th at Skate America and amazingly won gold at the MK John Wilson Trophy. It's impressive how he's been able to cope despite so many changes. Now he's returned to his home rink to prepare for his first Grand Prix final, which will take place in his home country of Italy. Sota Yamamoto has made great improvements this season, but his standout quality has been his overall consistency. Even his medals prove how consistent he is, with him taking home silver at both Grand Prix de France and NHK Trophy. But can he keep up this great pace and consistency in the final? Kao Miura has become one of Japan's brightest rising stars. He's consistently growing and improving in each and every area. We've gotten to see some of his best qualities this season, particularly in the jumping, but he's been such an overall well-rounded skater. Kao took home silver at Skate America and Skate Canada against some strong competition. He stands a great chance at the podium, and hopefully he will keep up this run of great performances. World champion Shoma Uno. Shoma has been on fire this season. He stepped up to the challenge well and he's been skating like a true world champion this season. Not all of his performances have always been completely clean, but you can see him improving and building off each performance. He took home gold at both Skate Canada and NHK, where he earned new season's bests all round. Junior world champion and figure skating prodigy Ilia Malinin, aka the Quad God, made his highly anticipated senior Grand Prix debut. He made his Grand Prix debut at his home event of Skate America in style and in the most Ilia Malinin way possible by landing the quad axel, which received an insane and fully deserved plus 4.11 GOE. It was a magical moment to see him land it in front of a crowd, and the free skate as a whole was really enjoyable. He won gold and also achieved a new season's best for the short program and new personal bests for the free skate and overall total score. He also took home gold at Grand Prix Espoo after putting in some more great performances. Ilia won gold at each of his Grand Prix events, and the only other skater that was able to do that was world champion Shoma Uno. This event is most likely going to come down to a showdown between Ilia Malinin and Shoma Uno, the next chapter in this new refreshing and respectful rivalry. I can't wait to see what happens, because when we last got to see them compete against each other at the Japan Open, it was very exciting. But remember, this is the men's discipline, after all, and we've already seen so far with how unpredictable it can be. Really, anything can happen. Next, let's take a look at the pairs discipline. Kovalev and Kovalev, McIntosh and Mimar, Medalkina and Parkman and Caldara and Maglio were all close to qualifying but unfortunately didn't make it to the final. Let's now take a look at who fortunately did manage to qualify and what it took for them to get there. Ultimately, this is most likely going to come down to a battle between reigning world champions Alexa Koniram and Brandon Fraser and reigning world silver medalists Riku Miura and Ryuichi Kihara. This is probably going to be the most exciting international pairs event this season. Finally, to ice dance. LaJoy and Laga, Green and Parsons, Lapariva and Brissard and Lorialt and Lugok were all close to qualifying but unfortunately didn't make it to the final. Let's now take a look at who fortunately did manage to qualify and what it took for them to get there. This ice dance event is so hard to call. It really could go any way. This will be the first Grand Prix final that we've had in 3 years. I'm really looking forward to it, and it will be intriguing to see what happens. Who do you think will be crowned as the new Grand Prix final champions? Comment below. Thanks for watching, and for following along with the Grand Prix series with me.